Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. This is a short video on the environment in the grow room. We're in a 4-day period of intense heat. We have weather warnings, we're now in an official drought situation. You expect that in Africa. You know, we don't expect that in the UK. So we are in extreme weather conditions. I'll point you at something because I can't deal with this. Where's my zoom? That was a lovely vibrant shoot. I haven't got a clue what it is, but it came up along with its partner down there and it's dying. Down here we have a lovely geranium that has beautiful flowers that's dying. Look at the leaves on the ivy, they're going brown. For ivy to start going brown and dying is unprecedented. The rose there is losing its leaves, it's lost all its blooms, it should have rebloomed, it hasn't. We've got serious situations here. Up there, now that's not funny. When I first got here I didn't know I had a maple up in the hedge. And the leaves are going brown and wrinkled. It's losing its leaves. And I can't put water around the whole garden. I can't do that. I'm not in a position where I can do that. These are, as the news items say, unprecedented conditions. Now, my main problem is I must keep my bonsai alive, and I have a few plants in tubs. I mean, look at that. That hasn't been watered today. That's drooping. Now my plan, because I'm out all day tomorrow and I'm away quite early in the day, is to water the garden and my bonsai this evening. That water will not evaporate during the night, and then they've got water ready for tomorrow when I'm away early. I can't water tomorrow morning out in the garden. I haven't got time. I've got other stuff to do. So it's all getting a bit complicated. And the thing that's important that people need to start thinking about is this is not an exception. This could become the rule. So for those of you who collect rainwater, perhaps a few extra barrels. Yeah? Collect the water in the winter when it's plentiful. Well, we hope. Even that could change. But at the end of the day, in this country, millions and millions and millions of gallons of water fall in the winter, and a lot of it just goes out to sea. It's wasted. We don't store it. We have a policy of not dealing with problems until they become extreme. Well, they've got to that point now. We have extremes. Now, I watered everything today in here. In here, I can take control. And this is what's important in here. Look at that. That tiny little bit of sun that's left on the roof. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, the amount of sun that hits this roof has reduced by over 50%. Now, if I open that door, out there it's 31, 32 degrees. In here it's 26. That is so much cooler than it would have been at the other place. In my old grow room, in temperatures like this, with this blue sky and this beating down sun, I'd have been battling with 32 degrees, and in that and an outlet fan, 2 circulating fans and a hydrofogger on 12 hours a day. What's the expense of that? My expense at the moment is that. Because that hasn't even come on. I can't remember the last time that came on. Because at the end of the day, we're at a decent humidity level due to watering the mounts with the sprayer and the pots. And I'm doing okay. In here, we're doing okay. Outside, we're not doing so well. And quite honestly, my bonsai are important to me, and all I can do is throw water on them in this weather, and a lot of them have been moved so that they're not in the sun. Now, under normal circumstances, they need the sun, but not in temperatures and the extent that we've got now. If they stay in the sun all day long, I can't water them enough. If I water them in the morning, by lunchtime they need more, and by mid-afternoon they need more. If they're in the sun all day, they're going to need watering 3 times a day, and I can't be doing with that. I'm quite happy to water once a day. Well, I won't say happy, but I'll put up with it. And under normal circumstances, that would be first thing in the morning, before the heat builds up. Get that humidity into the pots. No, I'm not just talking about bonsai. I mean, I've got geraniums, I've got a buddleia, I've got a conifer, I've got a cherry tree, I've got a thingy, a herb. I can't think what it is now. But I've got things in pots. I've got a fuchsia. I've got things that need watering in pots as well as the bonsai. And I'm quite happy to do that every day if necessary, first thing in the morning. But we're getting to the point now where I'd be needing to do it more than that, more than once a day. And that's getting silly. And we now have a declared drought. I'm not supposed to be throwing water on plants. I'm supposed to be conserving it for essential purposes. And I hate to say it, but plants aren't essential, are they? Are they? Open-ended question. Your mental health, your well-being, your getting up in the morning and feeling good about the world, is that not based on some of the plants that you look after? Some of your garden plants? In my case, some of your bonsai, some of your tropical orchids. Is that not what makes you tick? What makes you work? And our weather systems in this country are starting to blow it. We need to make changes. We need to store that winter water so that we've got it there, ready to use when we get these heat waves. 3 years on the trot now in this country we've had heat waves, and they're becoming longer, they're becoming prolonged. Now at the moment we've got a heat wave for 4 days, but that's on the end of 5 or 6 weeks of no rain. Now you put a heat wave on top of that and things start dying. Last weekend I went to the Orchid Society of Great Britain's meeting and auction and stuff like that with Lynn. And as we were going along the motorway, whole sections of the hedgerow and the tree line on the edge of the motorway were dead. This is trees dying through lack of hydration. Hedgerows dying through lack of hydration. Our crops are dying, our grass is brown. We've got to accommodate for this, or we're going to end up like the Sahara Desert, with no life whatsoever, no greenery. Is that really what we want? So how do we compensate for this? Well, we can't stop the heat waves, can we? No, we can't. It's too flipping late. 30 years ago we could have stopped these heat waves if we'd actually tackled the basic climate change issues. And by now it's too late. And we can all whistle and fart and muck about and talk about climate change and what we're going to do. We'll have green energy, we'll have wind farms. It's too late. You've blown it. All you political people, all you ever do is wait for a catastrophe and then decide you might deal with it in some shape or form. It's too late. Whatever happened to planning? Whatever happened to looking to the future and predicting what was going to happen and dealing with it before it happened? It's too late. We've blown it. At the end of the day, I'm whatever, 70 plus. I will not see the results of the inadequacies and the ridiculous patheticness of political stances, because I will be long gone. But what about my kids? What about their kids? My eldest son is going to have an offspring soon. What sort of world are they going to come into? Where are we going with all this? And do you know whose fault it is? It's our own. Who did we elect? How did we get to this situation? And I can't answer that, because our political systems are based on historical sort of the ways and means of the way it works. And what doesn't work is their ability to deal with stuff before it gets out of hand. And this, I believe, has got out of hand. And I hate to say it, but we've blown it. It's not good. And there's lots of orchid channels where people are starting to talk about their gardens. Well, they're orchid channels. We don't normally hear about what goes on outside their grow rooms, their greenhouses, their various places that they keep their orchids. We don't normally hear about that. So why are we suddenly hearing about it? We're suddenly hearing about it because it's all going wrong. And I don't believe there's anything we can do about it. Personally, I believe we will go towards this. I'll give you a little bit of information that is not recorded. People don't talk about this. And they don't talk about it because it doesn't sound right. In this country, we get a flow of oceans towards our coast. And as a consequence, they keep us relatively, I won't say cool, but they keep us better than some places. And it sort of works. And it's based on the salinity, the amount of salt in the sea. And we have warm currents that come to this country and keep us nice and cosy, which might not be the best thing nowadays, but it does. And it floats on the top and it comes towards us. There is a theory that if we warm up enough, the ice caps, the glaciers and stuff like that are going to melt to such an extent that the amount of salt, the salinity of the oceans will be reduced. And if that happens, this warm current that comes up to the northern European countries will sink and we will get an ice age. Look it up. It's not as daft as it sounds. So global warming could become global cooling. It's happened in the past, as has global warming. The problem we've got with global warming, global cooling and all that stuff now is there are billions of humans on the planet, which there weren't last time it happens. So do we have a solution? I'll leave that to you to decide. What is the problem with these climatic changes? Is it the planet that will suffer, or just us? And are we really that important?